Hello, Year 9. So, despite the school closure, we are just going to carry on as normal, okay? We have to try and just keep going and imagine that these lessons that I'm narrating is me standing in front of you in the classroom. So, first things first, I've just got some important home learning notes. I'm going to put this at the start of every PowerPoint that I do for all of my classes, okay? I'm only going to talk about it this first time, but it will be on there. So if you need to go back and refer to anything. So I'm just going to read through it now for the first time, and then that will be, I won't do that every time, okay? You need to treat this like a normal lesson. On paper, you need to write out the title, the lesson objective, and the date, just as we normally would in lesson, okay? Listen to my narration across the slides. Pause the video to work on tasks when you need to. You can also go back and watch bits if you're not sure about information. If you can't open the video, then there is a PDF of this PowerPoint as well for students to be able to work through as tasks as best you can. And I've just realised that I didn't really need to say that because if you're opening the PDF, you wouldn't be able to hear what I'm saying anyway. When there's a green box and an arrow on a slide, I'm pointing to something that you won't be able to access on the video. For example, a clip. Okay, so a hyperlink to a clip or a worksheet. This will be on the Show My Homework page where this video and this piece of this lesson has been set. Okay, so at the bottom there's links for YouTube, the YouTube clips, or there'll be a document there for the worksheet. You need to copy out tasks onto paper. You won't need to print any documents unless you're deciding to do this all on the computer and you're going to print your work off, that's fine. But you're completing the work the old-fashioned way, basically, okay? So don't worry if you haven't got a printer. You just need to be doing all your work on paper. Please don't send me completed work on Show My Homework, guys. This is really, really important. The whole school is off. Okay, so it's just impossible for me to keep up with if all of you sent me your work. The way that I would want to do it is you're going to complete a lesson, you're going to keep that paperwork, you'll complete however many history lessons there are while we're off. Okay, you keep it safe, you bring all of your history work in with you when we're back, and we will have a lesson where we glue it into our books. We'll look at what people have and haven't done. All right, which I hope for history, you find it interesting enough to be cracking on it with it during this time. I will then mark your books as normal. Okay, so please don't send me stuff on Show My Homework. You don't need to. I'm confident that you'll be getting on with it, and you need to bring it in when we're back. If you've got any questions, message me on Show My Homework. Anything at all. Doesn't matter how small or how big. Even if you think, actually, can you recommend a film that I can watch that's about the Nazis? Or anything like that at all, okay? Just ask me. I'm going to be setting lessons. They'll come live, I think it's at about 9 o'clock on the days that you have history. All right. As and when you do that work, it's up to you, but I will set them on the day that you have a history lesson. I might say this is 2 lessons worth of work here. So if you have a history lesson on Monday and Tuesday with me, I might say on the Monday, this will cover your Tuesday lesson as well. So it's important that you read the description. All right, just work through the work, guys. Okay, this is a really interesting topic, and I'm really sad that we won't be able to do it together in class. But history follows a timeline, so if you miss one lesson and then you try and do the next one, you're going to struggle a little bit. Okay, so just work through at your own pace, do what you can do, and all being well, I will see you guys on the 1st of December. So, title for today for this lesson, Changes for Women in Nazi Germany. Lesson objective, to know the Nazi policies towards women. So in our previous lesson, which you should have done in class, we looked at the changes for children in terms of education and what Hitler did to control their spare time. So now we're looking at the changes for women. This is probably a good point where I should say the Hitler children lesson, I have uploaded just a PDF of the PowerPoint for anyone that wants to go back through that if they weren't clear on the information. So there is a PDF on the same page as where I've uploaded this. You should have all finished it, but if you find there are bits on there or you want to redo it, then it's there for you to go back through. So just a couple of little recap questions here based on Hitler Youth and Education. Again, you might want to go back through that previous PowerPoint to just remind yourself. But I want you to give an example of the anti-Semitism. So anti-Semitism was anything anti-Jewish, okay, that existed in schools. There was a lot, you know that. All right. What type of activities did the boys do in the HJ? What was the aim of the girls group, the BDM? Okay, and what sort of activities did they do? So just test your knowledge, write out the answer. You can give this a little mini title of recap on Hitler Youth and Education. So this is just a little starter to get you thinking about what we're going to be looking at today. So you've got two very different pictures there. Okay, you've got a picture of a young Nazi girl, and then you've got a picture of a German woman. Okay, I want you to think about what the ideal woman in Nazi Germany might have been like. All right, based on those two pictures. So think about what they're wearing, the situation that they're in, who else might be in the picture. What they both look like in terms of their characteristics, and just note down a little list with what you can sort of notice about the two different pictures. And this is just another little mini thinking task, guys. Okay, so you've got two pictures there. You've got a picture of the women, well, a painting of the women during the Weimar Republic time, okay, which is the golden age. So between the years of 1924 and 1929. Okay, before the Wall Street crash, before things got horrible in Germany and life was quite good. All right. And then you've got a photograph there of a woman in the time of Nazi Germany. All right, so what differences can you see between the women in the Weimar Republic? Look at what they're doing, where they are, what they're wearing, and then just have a little bit of a look at the image on the right of the Nazi regime women, to see if you can point out any differences, or any differences that you think there might be as we get into that and look at the differences. This is a really interesting quote. Okay, so Joseph Goebbels, that really quite scary looking guy there, he was the Minister of Propaganda. All right, Hitler put him in charge of controlling all of the propaganda that was being put out across Germany. He took his job role very, very seriously. And this was a quote from him. So the mission of women is to be beautiful and to bring children into the world. The female bird pretties herself for her mate and hatches eggs for him. In exchange, the male takes care of gathering the food and stands guard and wards off the enemy. All right, so I want you to break down some of the symbolism there where the woman is being compared to a bird and hatching eggs. And I want you to tell me what those things actually mean. So you've got a little yellow box there, two little questions. What is this saying is the role of the man? And what is this saying is the role of the women? So you need to take away the symbolism and just say, well, that means this and that means this. So this is just a little opportunity for you guys to test your German. So you've got three German words there: Kinder, Kirch, and Huach. Oh, that's probably not the right pronunciation, but I never did German, so don't hold that against me. See if you can work out what they mean. And on the next slide, I'm going to tell you what they mean, and I want you to copy those, the three words down. Okay, so for those of you that were able to get this, all right, and that did do German, you'll know that it meant children, church, and cooking. And what that basically meant was women were expected to keep to the 3 C's in Nazi Germany: children, church, and cooking. All right, and it's not ideal for women to be expected to, their job role just to be have children, go to church, cook all the meals. All right, it's certainly not like that now, but it was a very traditionalistic view of women back then. So this is the bit that I mentioned right at the start. You've got a green box and an arrow there. This hyperlink will not work because you are watching this as a continuous video. Okay, so what you need to do, go back, you need to pause me, all right, when you're fed up of listening to me speak in a minute. You need to pause me, you need to go back to your Show My Homework where this lesson was logged, and you'll see there the YouTube link at the bottom for this clip. So you need to watch it. I might have put that time on there, but to be honest, watch it all. If you want to watch it all, that's absolutely fine. Okay, note down anything you think might be important, and you might need this later. Well, you will need it later, okay? So take some notes on what it is saying about women in Nazi Germany. So you should have taken your notes from the video, hopefully. Okay, that worked for all of you. If it didn't, don't worry, because you've got this information sheet here. Now, again, green box and an arrow. So you need to go back to the Show My Homework. You need to find this sheet, okay? It's just a Word document. open it, read the information on it, okay, as best you can, and then you'll see there's a yellow box at the bottom of that info sheet. So what you need to do is you need to complete those tasks, but you're doing them on paper, obviously, okay? So by now you should have completed your mind map on women in Nazi Germany, and you should have also created a fantastic image poster, just like we did with hyperinflation and the Ruhr, where you draw me things that tell me what they mean. So I've done a bit of a quiz one for you, okay, for our plenary. Have a look. What do my pictures mean? All right, I've tried my best to sort of group them together. So if they're separated on there, you can see that they're talking about different things. All right, have a look. Write down the meanings for them and what it is they mean. You might even get some ideas to go back and re-add to your image poster if you want to, but try to avoid copying them. Try and come up with your own ideas. And that is it from me, guys. And our next lesson will be on changes for the workers in Nazi Germany. So I'll speak to you again then.